What's up, guys? Tim Little, Matt Allen. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today's video, another buyer's guide for you. Today we are talking $400 rod and reel combos.
Friends, we are in the thick of it now. $400 combos is where things just branch out. You start having all sorts of incredible options from a bunch of great companies. Now, in addition to that, it was no mistake that we're doing $400 combos, $200 rod, $200 reel today. Today is the official start of Tackle Warehouse's Black Friday sale. So we wanted to get you this information right when that sale kicked off so that you had your best shot of getting the items that you wanted at a discounted price. Officially, that sale starts today at noon Pacific time. But I've been told, reading around on the internet, that that sale actually kicked off early. So you can probably already get that stuff. But take a look. If not, it'll be there at noon Pacific today. You want to kick us off with the first combo?
Sure, yeah, $400 combos, like Matt said, it opens it up, right? A lot more wiggle room in rods and reels.
Yep.
So we had a lot of fun with this. You know, it's kind of hard to narrow it down.
Man, it is.
Because you get to tinker with stuff, right? Making different combos for different techniques, that sort of stuff. So you get more into that technique-specific stuff.
Yep.
Enough about that. My first combo is going to be a Zodius spinning rod, Shimano Zodius spinning rod, paired up with that new Shimano Vanford. Now this combo, I feel like should be up in a higher price point. It's just a really, really nice combo. Shimano went and completely revamped the old Zodius line, yes. And that was already one of our favorites, especially in that price point. So they just made it a lot better, came out with some really cool, I guess, technique-specific rod blanks. Like this one specifically is a 7'6" spinning rod, so a lot lighter line, hair jigs, Ned rigs, that sort of stuff. But they opened it up and added a few different models to it. But that Zodius spinning rod paired up with that Shimano Vanford. Now, this is a really, really smooth reel. Kind of. Yep. We don't plan this, but I guess it replaced the old CI4 Plus.
Yeah, the Stratic CI4 Plus.
They just kind of revamped it, tweaked some things on it, and made it really, really matchy with the Zodius, with that red accent on the rod and reel. But that is the whole line. These Zodius spinning rods are really, really light, very sensitive, and again, they added some models for you technique-specific guys. But that's an awesome combo in that price point.
Now, with all of these videos, so by now, if you've been following along through the buyer's guide, you already know this. But if this is the first one you happen to have caught, the last few days were $100, $200, and $300 combos. And from here, the next few days, $500 combos, super high-end combos, before we switch gears into baits and equipment. But with all these videos, in the video description, we'll link the exact rods, the exact reels, and our favorite models for each one. This is to help you guys make wise decisions with tackle for you and for your loved ones before the holidays. If they're shopping for you, you can give them the video. That video description will help them make very easy decisions. Now, my first one is, we're going to a completely different brand so far in the buyer's guides because we've now moved up the rungs enough that Megabass has entered the game. So this is Megabass Levante. The Megabass Levante, again, paired with that Vanford, is another phenomenal combo. Now, I will say I'm not sure all of these are available.
Right, that's a hard thing. Yeah.
That's a problem this year across the board. So you may have to battle with that. There are some items you can back order, some you can't, but you can always take a look. But the Levante line, this is the shaky head model. Yep, it's the shaky head. This is a special rod to me because the first fish that I caught on this shaky head rod was an almost 20-pound striper on the shaky head with the Vanford, and it was screaming drag. It's a phenomenal combo. It's got a lot of power, a lot of sensitivity for the price, and it's got a lot of backbone, right? It survived a battle with a giant fish, but just great rods for the price. Now, I will say around sale time, Megabass is one of the only companies that is actually not on sale. Megabass never goes on sale. Almost everyone else does. A lot of them advertise that they don't, but if you follow through with these other brands, even though they say they don't, and you actually place and complete an order, your receipt does in fact show that they were on sale. It's just map pricing. They're not allowed to advertise that they're on sale. But I will say Megabass is one, I think the only one, that truly does not go on sale.
Right. All right. Next combo up for me is going to be the Dobbin Sierra. I'm doing spinning rod. I guess you're doing spinning rods too first, and then we'll go into bait casting. But the Dobbin Sierra paired up with a Daiwa Tatula. This is the Tatula LT. Daiwa, Dobbins. It's just how you like the feel. The Daiwa reels have a little bit different feel than the Shimano reels. What I really like about, I guess I'm talking about the reel first. You know, Shimano a couple years back went away from the back reeling feature. You know, growing up on the West Coast, fishing really light line, you know, 4-pound test, sometimes 2-pound test. You just when you have that back reeling feature, it's just an added bonus because your drag still works, but you still have ultimate control about giving that fish some line on the run. So that's why I went ahead and added that to this rod. But the Dobbins rods, again, they have a whole different. I mean, they have a whole bunch of different lines. But the Sierra is kind of like right there in the middle. It's not super high end, but it's really, really good quality. They got some really cool technique-specific models. This is a 6'9" 2-power. But the Dobbin Sierra is a really good mid to high-end rod.
Close one.
In that price point. But again, paired up with that Daiwa Tatula LT spinning reel, that's a really good combo as well.
I've got one more spinning combo for you, and then we're switching over to bait casting. My last one is going to be St. Croix Victory. The Victory hit hard earlier this year. They came out with a lot of models. So St. Croix builds great rods. We've already talked about Bass X. We've already talked about Mojo Bass. Victory, you're still talking phenomenal rods, phenomenal pricing, but this is a fully built in the U.S. rod. It is a U.S. made, manufactured. We actually were up north and swung through the factory. It took a factory tour. It was crazy to watch those guys roll the blanks. I'd never seen that before. That was eye-opening. Paired up to an Abu Garcia, the Revo SX. This one is a 30. They do. Shimano does 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. These guys do 20, 30. So this is the 30 size. I picked this reel up. We're always trying new gear, right? Always. That is one thing that we love to do, is try to find that unique gear, something different, something special at every price point. So last Thanksgiving, I walked into a tackle shop. It was actually the day after Thanksgiving. But last Thanksgiving, we walked into a tackle shop because we were on vacation visiting some friends, and I didn't have any gear, and we wanted to go fishing. So I bought a couple of combos, and I picked this reel up as part of that because I hadn't tried Abu Garcia's spinning gear at all. And you know what? After putting some time on it, I like it. I like that 30 size. That big spool casts extremely well. I was throwing a 2.8 Kitech, and I was really, really happy with it on that combo. But all in all, I've really enjoyed that reel over the last year, and I really like the price point where it pairs up with that Victory.
We're all, I mean, I buy stuff at the tackle shop all the time.
We're
and
junkies,
stuff I don't
man.
even need. It's like, oh, I could buy another pair of package of Senkos. I got like.
And then you go to throw them in. You're like, oh, I'll throw them in with my Senkos. And you open, you're like, oh, I have 7 bags of that. Well, here we go.
Hoarders, right? I'm going to go, since you went Victory, I'm going to go Victory Casting as well. And he kind of, obviously he talked about Victory quite a bit, so I'm not going to go on that tangent. Sure. But what's really cool about the Victory stuff, besides the Made in America and everything, is the amount of rods in this lineup. And it wasn't until we were at the factory looking at all the different stuff. You know, we've looked online and we read, 7-foot, medium heavy or whatever. But
right, you're like, why is there a 7.3 medium heavy fast, medium heavy? They're just so many.
But down on the handle, they actually tell you what the model name is, and they all are They're named specifically for the technique and such. But the Victory, again, like Matt said, really, really good quality stuff. And I went ahead and paired that up with that 13 Fishing Concept A2. Now, I'm kind of new to the 13 Fishing stuff the last 2 years, having to expand with inventory issues and stuff. And got to say, man, I was blown away. The light bulb moment for me on this guy right here was Dale Hollow last year, jig fishing, and I was just bombing that jig, and this is the exact same reel from a year ago, still as smooth as it was a year ago. So really, really impressed with that. But this combo right there is a really good combo in that price point. Again, Victory with that 13 Fishing Concept A2.
You latched onto that A2 the same way that I latched onto that C2. They're nice, nice reels. Okay, my next one up. I'm going Levante again. So Megabass Levante paired with a Curado 200K. The Levante rods, the Megabass rods in general, because some of these models carry between their lines. So the Braillist, the EMTF, that's Extreme Mission Type F is what that stands for. But those two models in particular, incredible casting rods. The Braillist, one of the best jig rods, if not the best jig rod there is. The EMTF is an incredible all-around rod and just a mind-blowing, I use it for football jigs. Finesse football, standard football, I love it for that. You can do all sorts of other things with them too. But really, really good bottom contact rods. I've just been blown away by them in both the Braillist and in the Levante and the higher models. The Orochi. Now, the Curado, I mean, what can't you say about a Curado 200K? Like, that is, in my mind, that is just a draw a line in the sand, the workhorse, do it all reel. That thing, Curado's been around forever, right? And there's been all these versions of Curado that have come down the line. Some of them were incredible. There were a couple where you're like, what's going on here? And then we started getting nervous. We're like, we might be looking for something different. And then the K's hit, and you're like, wow, oh no, they got her done with that one. That is a phenomenal reel. So to be able to pair those two up together and make that $400 cut, I mean, you are talking about high-end gear at that point. You have made the switch. We're not talking about good equipment. We're not talking about nice equipment. We're talking about really, really quality stuff that will last for years and years and years as you beat the snot out of it. That really, as you move up in price, you get more sensitivity, more options in models, and then you just get durability. And that's a major factor until we go ultra high end. Then you got to be careful with durability. Yeah. But that's a different animal for a different day.
All right, I think I'm going to do these last two together. You got one left?
I got one left.
Okay, I'm going to do these last two together because we talked about it multiple times in this video already, but it's the give and take in this price point. So, built two different combos for you. Let me start with the new Curado lineup. So, we've talked about this rod in a different price point earlier this week, but I went and threw that Curado DC on there. So now you can give and take a little bit. You can go a little bit, the reason I have two, you can go a little bit lighter on the rod and a little bit more expensive on the reel, depending on what you want to do with it. So that Curado DC, having a Curado and having the, for lack of a better word, computer built into it, right, to help you with casting and skipping and all that stuff, it is super cool to be able to get into this price point with a DC reel. Now on the flip side, you can go up in the rod. That new Zodius lineup, talked about it in the spinning a little bit, but paired that up with that new Curado 150 MGL.
Now, I didn't realize that reel had made it into this video. So you can go stomp all over what I said about the K if you want to.
So the Curado 200, Matt explained it. It is that workhorse, right? And it's that do everything reel, from finesse fishing to light swim bait reel. It can do it all. Now Shimano comes out with the 150 size MGL. And if you're not familiar with the MGL, it's a different type of spool. It's just castability, casting distance.
You can send it.
You can literally outcast the other reels by 10 to 15, maybe even 20 yards. So every MGL in the entire lineup from Shimano has been lights out killer. So if you're going to go away from the DC, a Zodius paired up with a Curado 150 MGL is a fantastic combo.
Yes, it is.
So a little bit of give and take right there. It's totally up to you what you guys want. Do you want a little bit nicer reel with some different features, or do you want a really cool, awesome reel with a little bit lighter, more sensitive rod?
Can I add a little bit to that? So that the deal, I'm going to either way. Whatever you say, I'm going to. So the 150 and the 200, it comes down to what size reel you need. Do you need a 200 size spool? If you don't, the 150, so you spend a little more for the 150. It's a little bit more expensive, and that's why it's paired up differently. I couldn't put that on the Levante and pull off the pricing. You pay a little bit more. It's a slightly smaller spool. Casting distance is ridiculous. It also has more drag, which
is crazy.
Yeah,
go ahead.
And is a slam dunk. That's one of those reels that hits the market and you're like, oh, that's just ugly right there.
Yeah, and you kind of feel bad for the 200. You're like,
right, which is still an amazing reel.
Right. So,
and we need a 200 size sometimes. So I really hope the 150 doesn't kill the 200. Sometimes you need a 200. All right, I've got one more. So now that you went ahead and did that, would any video be complete without me just cheating the system a little bit?
What's the point of putting price points and rules on these things when we're building these combos and then breaking them?
Now, in my defense, the sale started. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's wiggle room. The sale is going to let you reach beyond what you could normally do and still stay in the price point. So I did a pairing that allows you to go X-Pride. So in the Shimano line, you go Curado, Zodius, X-Pride. I mean, what have we not said about X-Pride in the past, right? X-Pride is my daily rod. When I'm going fishing and I'm grabbing a bunch of combos, I don't know that there's been a day in the last 3 or 4 years that there aren't X-Prides on the deck. It's just one of the main rods that we both personally fish with all the time. Now, you're getting too close to breaking out of the price range and not being able to include this in this video. So what I did is I went back and I paired it up with an SLX. But specifically because of the sale, SLX DC.
Cheater.
It's a phenomenal combo at the price. And while the sale is active, it makes the cut. If you're watching this video a week or two late,
probably gone.
No longer a $400 combo and probably not in stock either.
Right.
But a phenomenal combo while you can get them at a discount. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there.
Guys, you can't go wrong with any of these combos. Again, this is our gear. This is stuff that we've purchased and put through the ringer, caught fish on.
Beat to death.
Yeah, and we wouldn't recommend it if we didn't have the confidence in it. So you can't go wrong with any of these combos.
Right.
But we'll link everything down below in the video description. Favorite models maybe depends on how much room we got.
Right,
but,
that's true.
But you guys enjoy these videos, hit that like button. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And we got, what do we got next up? We got $500 combos.
Tomorrow. These are going every single day.
And then we'll do high-end after that. But we're having a lot of fun with this like we do every year. And hopefully you guys enjoy them as well. As always, guys, thanks for watching. And we'll talk to you soon.